Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy at this point simply to open this convention of the League of Red Cross Societies. You will be welcomed more fully at a later stage in the proceedings. At this time, may I say to you that it's most encouraging to see a group such as you are here at this kind of a meeting, because it typifies and it means that the Red Cross does symbolize those things that so many of us think the Red Cross does symbolize. And at this time, we shall open it.
Monsieur le Président, vous vous rappellerez qu'à la dernière réunion que nous avons tenue à Paris, nous avions envisagé de tenir cette conférence au Canada. Toutefois, après un examen sommaire des différentes questions que soulevait la conférence.
Mr. Chairman, Your Excellencies, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the British Red Cross, I bid you welcome. We are proud that so many distinguished people from 50 different countries have assembled as our guests in this ancient seat of learning, which for so many centuries has sought to equip men with knowledge and inspire them to serve the higher purposes of humanity. We wish that our hospitality, Mr. Chairman, could more faithfully reflect the warmth of our welcome to you. But you will understand that our resources have been greatly strained by the long war from which we have just emerged. But however meager may be our material contributions to the conference, I trust that you will find some help in your deliberations from the extensive and varied experiences that we have had during this war. Our British Red Cross has operated over the whole field of combat in both the northern and the southern hemispheres, and in its operation it has been encouraged and supported by the work of the International Red Cross of Geneva, whose help and inspiration leaves my country deeply in its debt. Throughout all the strain and temptations of war, we have sought to keep the faith of the Red Cross. I believe that we have succeeded. The principles of impartiality and neutrality are implicit in the Red Cross Charter. Our strength as members of this body is that we serve a cause that has no enemies, that knows no politics, that recognizes neither boundaries nor the nationality of disputants, but seeks only to relieve suffering wherever it may be found. To that ideal of conduct,
Sir Thomas More, Chancellor and Martyr, Sir Thomas Bodley, founder of one of the world's most famous libraries, and all their followers are the common heritage of mankind. It is fitting that the League of Red Cross Societies, another great institution dedicated to the advancement of understanding and to the realization of the noblest aspirations of mankind, should be meeting here today. Measured by the age of Oxford, the Red Cross is very young. It is only 85 years since Henri Dunant wrote his Souvenir of Solferino, inaugurating the principle of caring for the wounded on the field of battle, be they friend or foe. But the spirit that animated Henri Dunant, Florence Nightingale, and a host of others whose names are held in reverence by all that believe in the sanctity of human life, and that animates the Red Cross today, is as old as truth itself. The spirit of compassion that has ever moved sinner and saint alike to succor their stricken brothers, the Samaritan of the Jericho Road and Francis Assisi. It is the spirit that, however feebly it seems to we're expressing. In any great emergency or crusade, the common people usually are a mile out in front of their governments. In my own country, they proved this before Pearl Harbor, when in great majority they demanded the abandonment of our traditional isolationism. They proved it again in their eagerness, announced in every medium of public expression open to them, to make personal sacrifices to aid the distressed populations of Europe and Asia, while those officially charged with bringing relief to 3 million refugees and displaced persons in Europe alone were still debating and passing resolutions on the relative merits of various means suggested to bring about that relief. Starving people can't eat resolutions. But the governments of the world could not overlook the force of the argument for a prompt solution of the problems of permanent peace expressed at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The atomic bomb speaks with an authority understandable to the meanest intelligence. Today they are pondering the means to carry out the resolutions set forth in the United Nations Charter. Despite many shortcomings, that charter essentially is a fine and hopeful blueprint for international peace. Unfortunately, and perhaps inevitably, there have been too many and too divergent interpretations of its terms and specifications. The structure of international peace remains at least but a rosy vision.
While we await thyself.
There is no theology on which all men agree, any more than there is one national flag to which all men will pledge their allegiance. But there is one ideal that is common to all men of goodwill, humanitarianism. And that ideal is represented in the one banner under which all men may serve without doing violence to their patriotism or their loyalties, national, religious, or racial. The banner of the Red Cross, which symbolizes goodwill, humanity, love of neighbor to all who behold it wherever it flies. Properly employed, the power for goodwill and good works that inheres in the League of Red Cross Societies is the greatest force for international peace that exists in the world today.
On the emblem
under which we work extend equidistant in 4 directions, north, east, south, and west. To me, this signifies that those arms should embrace all, regardless of race, politics, color, or creed, all that would serve and all that would be served by the Red Cross. Then indeed, they would also point the way, if I may quote an unknown writer, to a civilization measured not by the glories of our national achievements, nor the splendor of technical wonders, nor the exploits of kings, dictators, presidents, nor the wisdom of philosophers, nor even by the triumphs of science, nor the adornment of art, but by the scale of man's attitude toward his neighbor.